Good morning and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Clarissa Rodriguez, Chair of the New York State Workers' Compensation Board. Today's full board meeting is being webcast live for members of the public, so welcome. It is also facilitated by American Sign Language interpreters. Thank you for joining us this morning. I now have the honor of calling the 1044th meeting of the full board to order. Before I ask the secretary to call attendance, I'd like to mention that last week, Governor Kathy Hochul announced the confirmation of new and reappointed administration appointees by the New York State Senate, which includes 4 new members to the board: Gina Saletti, Peter DeJesus, and attorneys Robert Bergen and Maria Matos. Ms. Matos is here today observing the proceedings. Now, while we work on getting everyone onboarded and trained, for now, we congratulate our newest board members and will formally welcome them to their first board meeting next month in July. We also thank outgoing board members, Linda Hull for her 12 years of service, Arelis Tavares for her 6 years of service, and Mark Stasko for his 9 years of service to the board. And we wish them well in their future endeavors. They will be missed. With that, Madam Secretary, will you please call attendance?
Vice Chair Foster?
Here.
Board Member Higgins?
Here.
Board Member Williams?
Here.
Board Member Crane?
Here.
Board Members Tavara from Paginelli?
Here.
Board Member Delon?
Yeah.
Board Member Delgado?
Here.
And Board Member Perez?
Here.
All present.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Agenda item 1, approval of the May 20th, 2025 meeting minutes. Board members, you have all received a copy of the meeting minutes for your review. Are there any questions or need for discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the board meeting minutes for the month of May?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board Member Mark Higgins, I move that we approve the minutes of the May meeting.
Thank you, Board Member Higgins. Is there a second?
I second Board Member Perez.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Perez. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed? No opposition. I am also a yes. That motion is passed. Agenda item 2, Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report. Acting General Counsel Keith Longden will present the Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report for the month of May.
Thank you, Chair Rodriguez. Following is our statistics for the month of May 2025 of the 3 divisions of the Office of General Counsel responsible for deciding claims. The adjudication division during that time period held 17,704 hearings, resolved 11,369 cases in hearing, and issued 393 reserved decisions. They also held 1,352 pre-hearing conferences, finalized 2,080 Section 32 agreements, and of those 2,080, 1,723 were considered at a hearing, and 357 were approved via a desk decision. The Administrative Review Division received 1,064 applications for administrative review, processed 952 applications for an end-of-month inventory of 8,530 cases. And finally, the Affairs Division received 84 applications for full board review, processed 99 applications for an end-of-month inventory of 200 cases. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Keith. Board members, are there any questions or need for discussion? Okay, hearing none, may I please have a motion to accept the Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report?
Madam Chair, this is Board Member Paginelli, and I move that we accept the General Counsel's Department report.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Paginelli. Is there a second?
Board Member Delgado, I second.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Delgado, for that second. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, board members all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. All opposed? I hear no opposition. I am also a yes. That motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 3, license applications. Senior Attorney Benjamin Jacobs will now present the licensing applications for the previous month. Morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, board members and colleagues. You have before you the recommendations from the assigned board panel regarding the licensing applications listed in Part 3 of today's agenda. Under Section 24A, Mark Tabakman, Esquire, 3-year renewal. Under Section 53B, Benetech Incorporated, qualifying officer Michael J. Keenan, Esquire, 3-year renewal. And First Unum Life Insurance Company, qualifying officer Mark A. Conkle, Esquire, 3-year renewal. And then under Section 53D, UPMC Benefit Management Services Incorporated, qualifying officer Christopher Weiland, Esquire, 3-year renewal. I present these recommendations to the board for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Board members, are there any questions or need for discussion?
I have
Yes.
what the senior attorney just mentioned doesn't seem to comport with the agenda.
Oh, okay. I did. I guess did we maybe misread the actual licensing for this one? You can do it again if we. Leave it correct. Do we have the agenda incorrect? Excuse us,
I
folks,
think
while we figure out
this
what
is,
is the correct.
this is May's agenda. Licensing portion.
This is May's agenda.
Licensing portion.
Oh, okay, so our
I believe
agenda
The rest
is
is correct.
Okay, she did.
Okay. So what we read into just now was correct, but just what's listed on the written agenda. Okay. Okay, so folks, for those who have our agenda, it will be updated with the correct information and will be replaced
I believe the right one
online.
has been posted to the website.
Okay, the correct one, it has been posted to our website. We'll verify. I'll make sure. Thank you so much, board members, for picking that up. All right, so knowing that what was read into the record at the meeting was accurate, board members, are there any questions or need for discussion? Okay. Hearing none, may I please have a motion to accept the recommendations of the board panels as presented?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board Member Sam Williams, I move that we accept the recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Williams. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, this is Board Member Caginelli, and I second that motion.
Thank you, Board Member Caginelli. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing no opposition, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, hearing no opposition, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you. Agenda item 4, legal appeals. Keith Longden will now present the recommendations concerning decisions by the appellate division.
Thank you, Chair. This month's agenda, there are 7 decisions of the appellate division, 3rd department, located in items 4A through 4B on your agenda. That's the recommendation of the Office of General Counsel that all 7 cases be adopted as, all 7 decisions be adopted as a decision of the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Board members, are there any questions or need for discussion? Hearing none, may I please have a motion to accept the recommendations of the Office of General Counsel with regards to decisions by the appellate division?
Madam Chair, Board Member Crane, move to accept the recommendation of the General Counsel.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Crane. Is there a second?
Board Member Delan, and I second.
Thank you, Board Member Delan. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing no opposition, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Again, hearing no opposition, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 5, mandatory full board review. We have case 5A, Smart Restoration Corporation, case number G3329143. Is there a motion with respect to 5A on the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair. Board Member Delgado, I make a motion to adopt the dissent opinion.
Okay, thank you, Board Member Delgado. Is there a second?
Board Member Delan, and I second.
Thank you, Board Member Delan. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing no opposition, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And all opposed? Hearing none, I am also a yes. That motion is passed unanimously. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 6, discretionary full board review. I now turn this portion of the agenda over to Vice Chair Frida Foster.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. For the cases listed in item 6 on your agenda, it's been recommended that full board review be granted. Those cases are 6A, matter of Albany Police Department, 6B, the matter of Verizon New York, Inc., and 6C, matter of Goodyear Tire and Rubber. I move to refer the cases back to their respective panels for further consideration.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Frida Foster. Is there a second?
Madam,
Yes, Madam Chair, Board Member Mark Higgins, I second the motion.
Okay, thank you for that second. Is there any opposition to the motion? Are there any recusals? Okay. Hearing none, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing no opposition, I am also a yes. That motion is passed. Thank you. Board members, is there any other business? Okay. If not, I will take a moment of executive privilege to say a few words myself. So as I announced a couple of months ago, I have made the decision to step down as chair of the board. It's hard to believe that my tenure as chair and head of this agency has drawn to a close after almost 8 years in September. I've learned a lot about leadership and what it takes to lead the almost 1,000 state employees who tirelessly administer several important insurance programs on behalf of New Yorkers and do it well. And while there's always room for improvement, I am immensely proud of the work that we've done to improve and modernize our operations, bring more medical providers into the system, get them paid faster, and put hearings on the calendar faster than ever before. And more importantly, to ensure that New York's workers are taken care of expeditiously when they need it the most. But yesterday, as I was having some conversation with my board members, it was someone mentioned that we're not very good at touting our own successes. So I figured if this is my last opportunity to do so, I will take it proudly because I want the public to know just how remarkable the employees at this agency are and what they've been able to accomplish just in my tenure. So when I came on as chair in 2017, the board had just piloted virtual hearings and then rolled them out statewide in 2018. This enabled injured workers and other hearing participants to attend their hearings from the convenience of their home or office, anywhere with a computer or mobile device. Then in 2018, the board implemented its successful payer compliance program, monitoring performance and imposing penalties for late payments to injured workers. We also successfully implemented New York State's landmark paid family leave program and developed new permanent impairment guidelines to provide medical providers with more clarity and reflected advances in medical care and outcomes. We also promptly created new procedures to ensure injured workers get a hearing within 45 days when they are not receiving benefits and their claim is undisputed, and successfully defended a lawsuit to close the reopened case fund to new cases, eliminating unnecessary system costs. In 2019, we implemented our first drug formulary and hosted several regional conferences to share updates and successes and provided extensive training. In 2020, as COVID-19 caused a major disruption to every industry across the country and globally, the board kept the New York State's compensation system fully running without interruption through our virtual hearings, enabling the continued flow of critical benefits to injured workers. We also embarked on an outreach campaign to educate workers and first responders across the state about their rights to file a workers' compensation claim if they believed they contracted COVID at work. We also introduced telemedicine into the workers' compensation system, which are now permanent, but at the time we did it through emergency regulation. We also, that same year, implemented the expanded provider law, enabling more types of healthcare providers to become authorized to treat injured workers. We also implemented the Farm Laborers Fair Labor Practices Act, providing disability and paid family leave benefits to farm workers. Also in 2020, the board began making changes to encourage healthcare provider participation and improve injured workers' access to medical care, making the strategic decision to transition to universal medical billing forms, updated our medical fee schedules for the first time in over a decade, and implemented online authorization process. We also implemented the Injured Workers Legal Assistance Project with the New York State Bar Association to provide free legal assistance to workers with medical-only cases. In 2021, after staff telecommuting by necessity through COVID was implemented via a statewide pilot program, the board implemented its own more permanent telecommuting program for board staff and revamped our public-facing website to make it easier for injured workers and other stakeholders to access the information they need, all while presiding over the 1,000th meeting of the full board. In 2022, the board successfully implemented onboard limited release, the first phase of the board's new business information system, and a huge step in the modernization of the board. We also adopted 12 new or updated medical treatment guidelines, launched related training for healthcare providers and non-medical staff, completed the transition to the Universal Medical Billing Form, the CMS 1500, and eliminated countless other forms. Internally, we established our inaugural Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, DEI Council, comprising of staff from different regions, roles, ages, abilities, ethnicities, genders, sexualities, religions, to help the board understand and address DEI issues from a range of perspectives, and submitted our first 5-year DEI strategic plan to the governor, and appointed our first ever chief diversity officer, and hired our first full-time language access coordinator, all to advance DEI goals internally and externally. And I have to say, this commitment remains strong with the board. And in 2023, I was finally reappointed formally as chair of the Workers' Compensation Board. At that same year, we hosted our first ever virtual New York State Workers Advocate Conference on May Day, bringing together government, labor, research institutes, and community-based organizations to build community among those advocating for vulnerable workers. That same year, we reached our 1 millionth prior authorization request, or PAR, submission via the new business information system Onboard, and made over 60 enhancements, many in response to stakeholder feedback gleaned through focus groups and other outreach. I also hosted the board's first internal leadership conference to build consensus on agency core values and enhance leadership communication and collaboration, which has led to countless employee engagement and recruitment initiatives that continue to this day, including one that I'll miss the most, our Conversations with Clarissa, which is our internal show here at the board, where I had the honor and privilege of interviewing a lot of our management and exposing the rest of our staff to the remarkable leaders that we have here at the board. All of that to say that we've been busy over the years, and we must do better at singing our own praises, and I'm happy to do so today. And as I depart, I'll just say that I'm incredibly grateful of the opportunity to continue to serve on the board as a board member And wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of our dedicated staff, many of whom are here in the room today, and the board members, without which none of this would be possible. Thank you so much for making this the most remarkable professional experience of my life. Thank you so much. Upward and onward. I'm glad I did not start to cry there. It was a little touch and go for a moment, but with that, just know that the board will be in very, very capable hands. Now, may I please have a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Very
Board Member Grant.
good. Thank you. May I have a second?
Second, Board Member Higgins.
Thank you, Board Member Higgins. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing none, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no opposition, that motion is passed and the meeting is adjourned.